and welcome to our wonderful sponsor, Micro Center, where I am about to embark on a gaming PC challenge. Tomorrow, the RX 6800 and 6800 XT are launching, which means that I am going to be upgrading my personal gaming PC rig for the first time in a very long time. I'm going full AMD, Ryzen 9, 5950X, and the 6800 XT. So let's go inside and begin our red future. That's not the way to do it.
That sounds grim.
So this is what all the hype is about. The brand new AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT with 16 gigs of GDDR6 memory. I can't wait to put it in my PC tomorrow. Powering this system, I'll be using an 850 watt EVGA Supernova. This should be more than enough power for our Ryzen 9 and the 6800 XT. Cooling our Ryzen 9 processor, we have the brand new H100i Corsair Elite Capellix. Now, not only does it have a 240mm radiator, but importantly, it has that fresh new RGB look on the block, which I think should look especially sweet with all of our RGB throughout the system. So, do you have some memory for me by chance? I see 4,000. Could I trouble you for that by chance? So this is absolute overkill for a Ryzen 9, but what? You clicked on the video for overkill. You didn't click on it for boring Town 5000.
Yeah, we can get a beige case from the back, no problem.
And when it comes to the motherboard, I'm gonna go with the ASRock X570M. Now, finding an X570 micro ATX board is not the easiest thing in the world, but the nice thing is, of course, we're not really losing any features, and I can load it up with all the memory I want. For a case, we're gonna be using the Corsair Crystal Series 280X. We've actually used this case in a previous video before, but I really like working on this case because it has a ton of room to hide your power supply and everything else in the back. So, to keep our RGB theme intact, we're gonna go with a set of the LL120s. Now, look, we've used these in a bunch of systems in the past. They are not only probably the best looking RGB fans out there, but importantly, they'll also keep everything nice and cool. So when it comes to the SSD, the 980 Pro from Samsung has my name all over it. 7,000 megabytes per second read speed.
No way! Dude, I've been subscribed for like the longest time ever.
Dude.
Can I get a selfie with you?
Of course!
Yeah.
All right, it is launch day for the 6800 series, and I'm ready to build myself a brand new gaming PC. So of course, huge shout out to Micro Center, as always, for sponsoring our coverage. And specifically, if you haven't already gotten on board with it, check out the link in the description. They're actually giving away a free 32 gigabyte micro SD card, as well as a USB drive, and there's no purchase necessary. So what are you waiting for? Just go head into your friendly local Micro Center, maybe get some parts, but also get your free stuff too. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This is what I'm talking about, the Ryzen 9 5950X. That is gonna be, I've actually not done a Ryzen 5000 build yet. Now, one of the only compromises I had to make was literally just on the 500 gig 980 Pro. Now, there's no doubt this is the top dog on SSDs at the moment. However, I grabbed the very last one in the store, so I think at some point I may try to get another SSD, but 500 gigs will definitely be enough to get me started for now. All right. Oh, right. I forgot about that. You know, the most important part of this entire video. Now, yes, of course, I could have waited a little bit longer for the 6900 XT, which is, of course, a more powerful card, but the price to performance on that one I don't think is going to be as strong. As far as I'm concerned, the 6800 XT is going to be the sweet spot. It still has the same 16 gigs of RAM, very similar clock speeds, very similar across the board, except it has a slightly cut down CU count. But I assume, obviously not having tried the 6900 XT, that the difference won't be huge, and all of the benchmarks, everything is sort of pointing toward this being a very close match, at least in gaming performance, to that RTX 2080. 3080, I know my numbers. All right. Oh, it's still in the package. Oh, that is some good foam. So this case is pretty unique because typically when you're building a gaming PC, especially if you want to do something on the high end, you have two choices. You're either gonna go for a very small ITX system, which there's certainly nothing wrong with that, or you go for a fairly large chassis. There's not a lot of sort of middle ground options. And for me, I want more than one PCI slot, so I want to be able to connect something like a 4K capture card via PCI, but I also want to have something which is not going to be enormous because I usually do keep my PC on my desk. So one of the nice parts about this system is you have two windows, so you have one up front and we have one on the top. But on top of that, if you come around to the backside, you have this I would say a basement, but it's on the side. But you have this back area where you can put your power supply, you can load up drives, more importantly, hide all your cables. So I am not going to be giving you a full tutorial on how to build a gaming PC. I have done that many times. In fact, I actually did one earlier this year, if you want to check it out, where we shot it actually at the Micro Center store. I will say the black and white color scheme is I'm already happy with it. Having some contrast, I think, is always important for a system. Right?
You're gonna have white RGB anyway, right? Or white LED.
I think so. We'll play around with it. I think I want to go with mostly white on the RGB. All right, here we go. Time to install the Ryzen 9 5950X. But this should be pretty much hands down the best gaming, streaming, and all-around badass processor that you can buy today. Now, I will primarily be using this for Google Docs, but secondarily, I will also be using this to stream as well. Now, do I need...
Wait.
Yes, I will be
What?
back to streaming.
Really?
Part of the reason I haven't been streaming lately is because my personal PC has been taken apart and I have completely redone my office, so I had no desk or chair to stream with. But stay tuned, subscribe, follow, Twitch, all that kind of fun stuff. So of course, we're looking at 16 Zen 3 cores, a clock speed of up to 5 gigahertz, and we'll see how far we can overclock it. Again, keeping in mind, I'm not gonna go crazy on it, but you know, a couple megahertz here, a gigahertz there, never hurt anybody, right?
Oh, there we go.
That is the move. 32 gigs, all 4 DIMMs loaded up with the 4,000 megahertz DDR4. I love the smell of gigahertz in the morning. It's gonna be so good, I'll gigahertz later.
What's that even mean? What does that even mean? That drink's been sitting there for 38 hours.
Tastes delicious.
Is that mold or matcha?
I'm gonna ignore your rude comment and continue with my super cool gaming PC build. That's not as far in there as I think it should be. Why is that not in there as far as it should be?
Spacer.
But why was that already there? No. We're done filming. You can stop filming now. We're done. It's fine. I definitely didn't glue my SSD down slightly out of the position it should have been. Put the camera down. I definitely didn't just screw this up and I have to gently extract it. I slightly misaligned it, okay? These things happen. Sometimes you slightly misalign it.
Thank God you're not trying to have kids, Austin Evans. Or are you? Well, maybe we know why you don't have them.
Big yikes. Okay, what do we have in here? Oh my God, look at the size of that block.
Ooh.
That is huge. So, I gotta unscrew that. No, yeah, I have to unscrew that. Okay. This is where we start playing dubstep. The kids like dubstep, right? You know, for the montage, that's like wub 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 wub. And then we get like the RGB lights in here. Kids love that. All right, here goes nothing. All right, so the system is an absolute mess right now. The power supply is technically out of the system, even though everything is connected. So let's see if we can actually get it to post or whether or not we're gonna be sad boys. Here goes nothing. Woo! That is some rainbow puke if I've ever seen it.
Oh, that block looks really nice.
Damn.
Wow.
This thing is ridiculous. There we go. So we have Ryzen 9 5950X. We have all 32 gigs of our memory, and obviously our GPU is up and running. I think we have successfully built a gaming PC. So now, excuse us while we spend the next 3 hours cable managing and RGB tuning, and then let's take a closer look at my new gaming PC and see exactly how powerful an all AMD setup can be in 2020, or 2021 by the time you're watching this video when we're done with RGB tuning. And so, the personal all AMD gaming PC is complete, at least for now. So we spent most of the day getting this thing all sorted. So not only do we have the cable management done, but we have the RGB set to, surprise, surprise, white. Now, we played around with a couple of options. So, I mean, if we really want to lean into the AMD side of things, we could set it to be all red. This just looks like a murder PC, and I don't really think that that's the style I want to go for. I personally think it looks really dope just setting it all to pure white, especially because it sort of gives you all of that sort of look inside the super clean build that we've done. Ryzen 9 5950X. We also have, of course, that 6800 XT, which aesthetically is the only thing that has a little splash of color. So of course you have the red sort of ring around it, as well as the glowing Radeon logo. That can't be changed. I personally think it's fine. Now beyond that, let's actually take a closer look at how this thing performs. Surprising exactly no one, it is really fast. The 5950X is hands down the fastest gaming CPU out right now, and it's one of the fastest CPUs full stop. So especially when you put it alongside my previous build, which was using a 2080 Ti, it is a significant step forward. And of course, when you look at the price to performance against something like the RTX 3080, it's a little bit more complicated. So this card, if you can find one, because of course all of these are out of stock right now, costs about $50 less than an RTX 3080 and pretty much matches it in gaming performance. It also has 16 gigs of RAM as opposed to 10 gigs of RAM on the 3080. But on the flip side, that 3080 has a ton of additional features. So it has much better ray tracing support, so you're gonna get better performance there. It has NVIDIA's DLSS, and you also have a lot of the RTX specific features like RTX voice and a much better encoding engine, which is important if you are doing streaming. So of course, the game I'm actually going to be playing all the time is F1 2020. I have no doubt that this will be incredibly smooth and I will have zero problems. No doubt whatsoever. Wow, that is so fast. Did you see how fast that loaded? Are you serious right now? Damn. So with 200 frames per second, F1 is absolutely no problem here. And the nice thing about this system is that no matter what I want to do with it, I should have no problems, right? I actually really like this Alienware monitor. So this was actually originally from Broke vs. Pro, I think. This is your setup for the Flight Sim video, right?
Yes, you are taking my monitor.
Yes, I am. See, Micro Center likes me sometimes too. So what can we say about the system? Well, I certainly have more work to do. So I need to not only optimize the fan curves because it is a little bit loud right now, as well as I might see about maybe moving that rad up front. It might make more sense instead of having it in the top because I might have some cleaner airflow. But the main question is going to be how well does this hold up long term for my ultimate gaming personal setup? So make sure, subscribe to the channel for lots more about this wonderful, wonderful new build of my life. And again, huge thank you to Micro Center for sponsoring this video. Definitely be sure to go check them out and all the parts I used at the links in the description. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go learn how to drive better with a controller.